wish to welcome all attending to the ribbon cutting ceremony for the City of St. Petersburg Sunlit City Parks project. My name is Michael Connors. I'm the Administrator for Public Works for the City of St. Pete, and I wish to first express the regrets of Mayor Bill Foster for being absent and a number of City Council members due to a scheduling conflict. The Mayor did, however, provide me a couple of quotes that he'd like to have read for the attendees. It is with great honor that today we welcome Senator Bill Nelson's office, Joe Cuenco from the Environmental Education Center, and Senior Advisor Jason Walsh from the U.S. Department of Energy to St. Petersburg. I wish to express our thanks to him and his agency for providing the grant funds associated with this worthwhile project. St. Petersburg is recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most consecutive days of sunshine, and as such, it seems only fitting that we harness this natural resource that is so abundant in our city and distinguish ourselves as a leader in developing solar energy for the future. An exciting component of this project is the educational benefit that it will deliver in educating our young people regarding solar and alternative forms of energy. I wish to thank the Educational Innovation Center, formerly known as the Science Center, for their co-participation in this project. As Florida's first green city, the Sunlit City Parks program is another example of how St. Petersburg continues to demonstrate leadership in environmentally sustainable best practices and long-term reduction in operational costs. Thank you, Mayor Foster. This project was made possible via 2 grants from the U.S. Department of Energy. In January of 2010, City Council approved $1.4 million, followed by an April approval of $1 million as identified in the Federal Omnibus Appropriations Act and the Water Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act, respectively. Today's agenda includes Shahara Anderson from Senator Bill Nelson's office, Jason Walsh from the U.S. Department of Energy, Joe Cuenco from the Education Innovation Center, formerly known as the Science Center, culminating with a demonstration of the project's environmental component. Attending today, we also have representatives that helped in the project from Barclay, from Progress Energy and Bright House, and we have Barclay Harless from Representative Roussan's office, and Nikki Capehart from Congresswoman Castor's office. This project scope of work, of which you can see the panels behind me mounted on the rooftop of this particular rec center, involved installation of photovoltaic systems at 19 city sites comprised of 6 rec centers, 12 parks, buildings, and the Educational Innovation Center building. The PV systems consist of rooftop-mounted solar panels, power inverters, and electric meters that essentially work both ways in accepting and delivering power to the electric grid. One system at Walter Fuller Rec Center includes a battery storage subsystem to further lessen reliance on the power from the grid. Another component of the project is the educational aspect. Computer kiosks have been installed at all city rec centers that allow access to such data as kilowatt hours, weather, solar panel efficiencies, and locations. The kiosks also have a storage component that allows it to interact with the U.S. Department of Energy in evaluating the effectiveness of this sustainable energy project.
Personally and professionally, on behalf of your United States Senator, I just want to take the moment to say thank you for the partnership that he's received, longstanding here in the city of St. Petersburg, along with the federal government. To the representatives from the Department of Energy, thank you for your dedication and commitment to help to ensure that what's going on here in the state of Florida and our country is that of alternative energy solutions and to help to create an environmentally sustainable country. To Councilman Carl Nurse, who's also here, along with that of the City Council, thank you all for your continued efforts, also being the first green city here in the state of Florida and creating the first Dunkin' Donuts here in the city of St. Petersburg, which I recall so wonderfully, and I appreciate that personally on my trips on behalf of the Senator. But seriously, I really don't want to belabor the situation, but really want to say thank you again for everything that you're doing, the public-private partnership, and the dedication and determination that you witness here in the city of St. Petersburg is something to be recognized and mimicked throughout the country.
You know, we are obviously in a time of a lot of turmoil in energy use in our country, but I just wanted to give you a couple of things that I thought were encouraging. In the last year, 44% of all new energy production in this country was renewable energy, solar or hydroelectric wind. And so the industry is growing. In the last year, the solar industry job growth has been over 13%. When you think of an economy that is growing, jobs at a couple % a year, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, that what we should be doing as a community is trying to grab onto those industries that are growing quickly. And so I'd like to thank the Department of Energy for, for their help in that. And, and it is our responsibility as a community to try to grab those opportunities, grow those jobs, attract the manufacturers and installers. And my little part, put solar on my roof during the summertime. My wife was mad at me for having to cut down a limb, but she got over it, and I still did have a power bill last month, but it was $82 with air conditioning. So that just shows you the road forward is clear. We just need to keep pushing, and it will get easier as the prices continue to drop, and we can grow our economy and have a cleaner, more prosperous future.
Well, first of all, thank you to Mike and Wayne Findley and the other folks at the City of St. Petersburg for giving me an excuse to leave Washington, D.C. and join you here on this beautiful morning in this beautiful city. I can't think of a better place to showcase solar energy technology than in a city that gets 361 days of sunshine a year. I can also understand why you get so many visitors year after year. And both the visitors and those of you who are fortunate enough to live here get to benefit and learn from the cutting-edge solar technology that's installed here and at sites around the city. Mike mentioned, my name is Jason Walsh. I work for the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy at the U.S. Department of Energy. We basically lead the Energy Department's efforts to help build a clean energy economy in this country. And we develop and deliver market-driven solutions in 3 areas: energy-saving homes, businesses, and manufacturers, sustainable transportation, and renewable electricity generation from sources like wind and solar. Let me take a moment to talk about solar, since it's what brings us here today. At DOE, we run something called the Sunshot Initiative, which is a national public-private effort to tackle the technological and scientific and market barriers to solar development and deployment, with the fairly audacious goal of reducing the total cost of solar by roughly 75% by 2020. Thank you. And that'll get us to about $1 a watt, at which point solar can be cost competitive with any traditional source of energy. Now, it's already cost competitiveness in a few markets in the country. We want it to be cost effective. We need it to be cost effective everywhere in the country. If you think that sounds overly ambitious, let me tell you a little bit about our track record. During the last 35 years, the Energy Department has supported research that has established more than 50% of the world record set for solar panel efficiencies. Now, by that measure, we are, I think, a good match with a city that's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Right? We have also delivered pretty consistently really good bang for the buck. It's estimated that our $3.7 billion investment in solar photovoltaic R&D from 1975 to 2008 resulted in a net economic benefit of $15 billion due to module efficiency and reliability improvements. That's roughly a 4-to-1 return on investment. And in doing so, our investments accelerated the growth of the solar industry in this country by about 12 years. So, I mean, consider that for a moment. Think about where solar would be in this country, in this city, if we were stuck using technology from year 2000, okay? So we think we have grounds to pursue big goals like the Sunshot goal of $1 a watt. And one of the ways that we will meet this goal is by learning as we go along which is exactly what this solar project here in St. Pete allows us to do. Mike mentioned this at the top. We have an agreement with the city that allows our National Renewable Energy Laboratory, which is based out in Colorado, to track and measure the reliability and performance of these solar modules under real-time, real-world conditions. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that with this data, we can provide critical information to other cities in similar climates that are planning to install solar projects like this one. In fact, we're doing this right now with a city out in Nevada. And we can provide feedback to manufacturers about how their equipment holds up over time. This is the kind of feedback loop, kind of feedback mechanism that is necessary to drive up the efficiency of solar and drive down the cost of solar technology and the cost of installing that technology. I think it's also important to not lose sight of why this project and the transition to a clean energy economy is so important. It's important because we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We save families and businesses money. We create middle-class jobs. All of these are incredibly important things. We also put ourselves in a position to win what we consider to be the most important economic development race of the 21st century. Okay, I mean, that sounds dramatic, but we think it's true. Consider this. Last year, there was about $260 billion of private investment in clean energy around the world. That is a 600% increase in private investment in clean energy since 2004. All right. Trillions more are going to be invested over the coming years. So as a country, we face a fairly stark choice. The clean energy technologies of today and tomorrow can be invented and produced here in the US, here in Florida, for use here and export around the world, or we can surrender global leadership and import that technology from other countries. It's a very clear choice. And make no mistake, other countries recognize the stakes of that race. So at the Energy Department, we are very optimistic that we can win that race. Cities like St. Petersburg are showing us the way forward. We are honored to work with you on this, and it's a pleasure to be here today celebrating your success.
I just want to say thank you to our new friends at the Department of Energy and the City of St. Petersburg, our great partnership with them, for being able to participate in this project. It's a wonderful thing to have this exhibit over at our center, and as we know, renewable energy and solar energy will be the key to our nation's survival success, but also to global leadership and creation of those middle-class jobs that Mr. Walsh talked about. At the Education Innovation Center, our objective and goal and mission is to help middle school students and our high school students understand what careers, what industries there are out there, and the technology and the skills that they'll need to be learning to be successful within those industries. And STEM education, science, technology, engineering, math, is really a key component. And for those of you for me to give you a perspective on STEM education and how critical it is, our friends at Raytheon conducted a study of 1,000 eighth graders, and they found that these eighth graders would rather eat their vegetables, take out the trash, and listen to their parents rather than do math and science homework. That's the truth, okay? That's not a joke. So when we consider how we as a global leader, our 15-year-olds, perform in math and science, we're really at the bottom, the 27th. So this is a real key focus for us, and so we're really appreciative of the partnership. We're appreciative of the partnership with Progress Energy. We're going to have a charging station. So our mission is sustainable energy, renewable energy, and helping communities and families understand the importance and the relevance. So thank you very much, and we hope that this partnership is just a start.
We're collecting data from all the different sites in the city of St. Petersburg, all 19 sites. And the data goes into that, and that's being used as a training program and as a data collection point to see the efficiencies of these systems and see how well they do produce over the long run. They're also tied into the Science Center, which is over on the west side of town. And people can go in there and students can look at the information and see how all the different systems are working and are able to monitor and see the actual energy generated by these systems.